So video 2 of the 4-part series on calories, protein, carbs and fats. Today we're talking about protein. So we spoke about calories being important for weight loss or weight gain, and that's the first place you look at. But when you're looking to maintain muscle mass, and muscle is what helps you burn more calories, if you just eat less than you're burning, then you're going to end up losing some muscle and then your metabolism will get lower, meaning you'll have to eat even less. So that's going to be a little bit harder, and you want to get away with eating as much food as possible so that you're not hungry, you get loads of vitamins and minerals, and you can hit your protein targets. So most research points to a good number of protein per day is 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. So I'll just use a nice round number, which is 100 kilos. If you're 100 kilos, that's going to be 160 grams of protein up to 220. And that's the basics that you need to focus on. And the reason for that is that when you weight train, you break down muscle. It's called muscle protein breakdown. When you eat specifically protein, you give your body a signal. Your body tells itself to build more muscle because it's got this muscle building protein which breaks down into amino acids, and I'm not going to go into too much depth on that. I just want you to get the basics. So just think essentially protein is going to help, and ideally you want to fit something that's going to fit your schedule. So I'm not going to tell you to eat 6 times a day if you only eat 3 just now. Anything between 3 and 6 times a day, between 3 and 5 is ideal. And the reason for that is just that those signals, that muscle protein synthesis, that when you eat protein, it tells your body to build muscle. As long as there's a demand from weight training, then that is going to be more optimal when it's spread out. So if you were to eat 200 grams of protein in a day and you only ate it in one meal, then that's not the best thing for you. But that's better than eating in one meal only 100 grams of protein. So split it up into spaced meals, whatever you can do, whatever suits you best, but ideally evenly split out so that you can actually get the most out of those meals. Tell your body to build a little bit more muscle, or at least keep it. And it's not just about muscle, it's about that metabolism. Protein's also essential for recovery, for skin, hair, nails, your organs, all your tissue inside your body is built, and the foundations are from protein. So keep it basic, keep it simple. Start with where you're at, and do your best with what you have. So the best protein sources are whole food protein sources. Generally, plant or vegetarian or vegan protein sources aren't as high quality. And I'm going to go a little bit in depth here, so bear with me if it gets a little bit confusing. So protein is made up of amino acids, specifically 20. So your body can make up 12 of those amino acids, so you can get that from food, but your body can make it. But you need to get the 8, which are called essential amino acids. You need to get them from food. And things like meat, yogurt, whey protein, fish, eggs, all these are whole food protein sources, which means they're complete, which means they have the 20 amino acids and the specific 8 essential amino acids. Not all plant sources come with those amino acids, so some might come with 4 of the essential, then you have to combine it with another plant source to get the other 4, and then you increase your calories. So being a vegetarian or vegan is doable. You have to supplement for different things, but generally the protein sources come with a lot more calories. So to get 20 grams of protein from a whey protein shake, you're talking a good one, 100 calories max. Sometimes from vegetarian protein sources, you're talking 300 calories, maybe 400. So you just see that that's important. If you go back to the first video when we spoke about calories, if you're looking to stay under a calorie target, then hit your protein goals of 1.6 grams to 2.2, then vegetarian protein sources might not be the best. But the main protein sources that I'd like you to get it from, if it's accessible and available, are good quality dairy, ideally raw and organic, but not always essential. Eggs are amazing, just be mindful of the fats in the whole eggs. So they're very good for you, very good for hormones, and we'll talk about that in the fats section. But at the end of the day, you want to take the calorie battle first, protein second. So that's important with calories, but if you eat 200 grams of protein and it shoots you over your calories, then you're going to end up not losing fat. So do your best to focus on managing that. Then things like meats, beef, chicken, fish as well, and other birds, turkey, duck, game, bison, venison. All of these things are very good for you. And you're looking for generally leaner cuts of meat. So if you're talking about beef, that would be a fillet. And if you're talking about eggs, it would be egg whites specifically. Fish would be more white meats. And then fatty protein sources are whole eggs, salmon, fatty cuts of beef, chicken thigh with the skin on, things like that. So these aren't bad, the fatty sources, they just come with more calories. The fats are amazing for your health, they're going to help you feel better as well. So it's just about managing that. If you're looking to gain weight, gain muscle, going back to the calorie equation, you can include more fatty cuts of meats. Generally, if you're looking to lose fat, you want to keep protein high, but you just have to save calories from somewhere. So you would pick the leaner cuts of meats, low fat dairy, lower fat milk, things like that. And we're not talking about the ins and outs of gut health and specifics like that, but just these are the basics to get you an idea of what you have to focus on. So that's the basics. You're looking to eat protein to give you some muscle protein synthesis, so a signal to your body to build muscle. And that starts in the weight room when you lift weights or do exercise with body weight or any kind of resistance training. And ideally splitting it out so that you can find a way of eating roughly equal amounts of protein. So let's just say it's 150 grams of protein per day and you're only eating 3 times, then each meal would roughly look like 50 grams of protein. And what does 50 grams of protein look like? That'd be a very large chicken breast, so depending on how big your hand is, a palm sized chicken breast, a big steak, big bit of fish. And to give you context, an egg is 7 grams of protein. It comes with 7 grams of fat. So you would have to eat a lot of eggs to hit your 50 grams. So sometimes it's better just to have a dairy source. But some yogurts, there's a yogurt out there from Yale Valley, 0%, and it's 45 grams of protein and you only eat 265 calories. So just do the maths, learn. This might be overwhelming just now, but it's going to take time. And that's fine. We'll just implement it, learn, ask me anytime, any questions, and we'll make some progress. And that's what it's about. It's not about being perfect right now, but just progressing. So that's the protein part covered. Next video, we're going to go over carbs and then fats. And this is bonus content for the protein, just because I forgot on the first video. So protein, there's a reason it keeps muscle, it helps you maintain your muscle mass, which is important for your metabolism. But the main thing is that it is highly satiating, meaning it keeps you fuller for longer. So if you always find that you're reaching for junk food or your blood sugar drops, then go for the protein, and that's going to keep you fuller for longer. There's also a benefit for fat loss, because when you process protein or your body processes protein, then you end up burning calories just to do that. So it's roughly 30%, and it's called the thermal effect of food, so the heating process of food. And carbs is low and fat's a lot lower. But when you eat protein, let's just say you eat 100 calories of protein, 30 of those calories are going to get used just to process that. So if you're looking to lose fat, that's why a higher protein diet is better. 1, because it helps keep your muscle mass. If you have more muscle mass, you can eat more, you can burn more calories at rest. But then 2 is because just the act of eating that protein is going to burn more calories. And just be conscious that you can't eat 2,000 calories of protein, because that also wouldn't be healthy for you. But that's why high protein is relevant, like I said, within the targets of 1.6 to 2.2 grams per day. And you will feel so much better because you're going to be fuller for longer, you can combine your meals, and you're going to be able to stay on track and actually lose some weight without overeating. So just had to add that in there because I feel it's important. Protein is important for muscle mass, but also for keeping you fuller for longer. Any questions, give me a shout.